Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Mountain Harmony Gardening. I'm Kristen, and today we're going to be putting in a new flower bed. I'm really excited to be putting in the new flower bed. This area behind me doesn't really grow grass during the summertime. It looks pretty good right now because we've had a lot of rain, and all my plants are really happy right now. But during the summertime, when we're only getting water twice a week, this area starts to die back and it's pretty much just dirt. So Donnie and I decided that why don't we just turn this whole entire area into another flower bed. It's less lawn to mow and less to water because a lot of this is already xeriscaped back here, and I'm going to continue with that theme in this area. So the first thing that you wanted to do is to determine where you want to put in your new flower bed. For us, it was here, and I've already marked out the area with bricks here and bricks in the back because our whole entire border for all of our flower beds are bricks from Donnie's granny's house. So this used to be an old chimney, and we took a lot of the bricks and they become really useful in the rest of our yard. So that's the first step you need to do, is you need to determine where you want your flower bed, how large you want your flower bed, and then lay it out and see if you like it. Now that you know how large your flower bed is going to be and in what location, either sunny, maybe partially shade or completely shady, mine is almost completely shady, then you can determine what plants am I going to buy for that area. I've already had the little bit of a bed over here for several years, so I know what grows and what doesn't grow. So I bought more shade-loving plants, ones that I know that the root weevils will not eat, because I have a pretty bad root weevil problem in my yard that I've been trying to battle for years and years. So I bought those, and I bought quite a few, but I know it's not exactly enough to fill up this whole entire area, but I like to save costs when I can. So I'll plant these, see how they do, and then over the summertime, I will purchase more plants to kind of fill in this bed a little bit more. Plus next year, I'll probably start some really cool seeds that I can also use to fill in this area. So next, go ahead and go plant shopping. Behind me, you are going to see a huge pile of boxes. We got a new bed recently, so I saved the boxes from them. They've gotten a little bit rained on, but now that they're dried out, we can finally use them to do our project. And whenever you're starting a new bed, like especially mine that still has a little bit of grass in it, or if you have some weeds or anything else that are in the bed that you don't want growing in your new flower bed, it's great to cover it up with cardboard. Cardboard will last a couple of years, I have found in my garden, and by the time this deteriorates, which also feeds the soil and the worms love it, then your flower bed will be almost weed free. So save those boxes, go to the grocery store and get some boxes. Schools from their kitchens also have a ton of boxes. So there's a lot of different places that you can get boxes for free. The next thing that you want to consider in your flower bed is if you're going to be using any mulch. There are several different types of mulch that you can use. What we bought are these bark nuggets. So they're just pretty much just pieces of larger bark like you see here in Sebastian's play area that we're going to be using for our flower beds this year. I also have in another one of my flower beds lava rocks that looks really good. So there are many different types of mulch that you can use. I would not recommend using the rubber type of mulch because it leaches stuff into the ground as it deteriorates. So I would definitely stick with something natural, but there are many possibilities. It looks good and it keeps the weeds down. Some of the tools that you're going to need for putting in your new flower bed are a good pair of gloves, a trowel. I like a kneeling pad because I've had some dirt picking accidents over the years and it's harder for me to get up and down and be on my knees too long. So this is a must for me. And then a regular shovel for the larger plants that you're going to be putting in your flower bed. Now that I have everything ready, I need to dig in the bricks below me. And they're probably only about that far into the ground, so I kind of need to dig out a little bit of space for them to go. and I'm going to show you how I do that. Now, depending on the border that you're going to be using, you will probably be using different methods, but also for these around Sebastian's play area, we also dug down just a little bit and sunk them into the ground. So you have to kind of dig a little bit out, and I'm putting all my soil and the grass right in here to the new flower bed because we're going to be covering that up with those cardboard, so I don't have to worry about any of the grass coming back, and it'll naturally deteriorate and it'll look great. Alright, so just remove some of the grass, dig out a little bit of a trench, and you can kind of see on this brick how far down into the soil they were, because this is the bricks that were already around my flower bed and we're just reusing them. So they don't have to be perfect, and with these two large ash trees that I have in my yard, it's kind of hard to dig down too terribly far because I'm always running into roots. Even digging down just a little bit right there, I already ran into a root. So I just want to make sure that it's secure so that when we're running the lawnmower up against this, that it won't move too terribly much. And it doesn't have to be perfect because these bricks are old. Like, this is the paint color that was in Donnie's granny's kitchen, and it always reminds him of his granny, which is really cool. But for me, I'm going for a little bit more of a rustic look, so I want to make sure they're not exactly perfect. And my yard is not flat, I don't think, anywhere. We're on a bit of a hill, so all of my stuff goes uphill at some point or downhill at some point. That's why my deck's 2 levels. All right, so then we just do another one. I dig it out just a little bit. And I also want to save this soil because what I can also do is kind of backfill any of the areas that are missing a little bit. Like on the front here, it's not that much, but on the back there's a little bit more of a gap, and you want to kind of fill those in to help steady these up a little bit too. And it took me several years to put in the flower beds that you see all around my yard. So don't think that you have to do this all at once. You don't. It definitely took me a long time. And it also took me, when I was first putting in little sections, I would do a little bit here, a little bit there. Even though we had the bricks, with the fibromyalgia, I'm kind of limited on how much I can do per day. So I do a little bit every day, so work at your own pace, totally okay. So this gives you a general idea, and I'll be back with you in just a moment to show you this finished border. Now I've finished up putting in this border, and I'm going to walk down over here, and I'm going to show you that I have this border in as well. They don't line up exactly perfectly, but like I said, my garden's rustic and I like it that way. Our next step is we're going to be putting down all of that cardboard. This next step is pretty simple. I think anybody could probably do that. It's laying down the cardboard. So I'm going to grab the piece of cardboard, and I've already flattened it out, and if you want to, remove as much of the tape as you can, but I've noticed that it kind of pops up through the mulch, and I've just able to pull it out over the years so that I know that it's all gone. But if you can remove it, I would recommend doing it first. It's pretty much that simple. I'll be right back after I get the rest of it put down. Well, I'm all done laying down the cardboard. I wasn't sure if I was going to have enough or not, but I used every single box that came with my new bed, and plus I had a box from work that I used as well. Now you'll see that I did not put it on my old flower beds because those have already been mulched and they've already had all their weeds removed, so I don't need to do it in that area. And also where my raspberries are growing, I'll just have to pick out the grass because I do want my raspberries to come up so they fill up that new trellis. This method is also great if you're putting in a new garden bed too. So what you do is you lay down the mulch the same way, and then you would fill this with garden soil. It works really good to keep the weeds down in your garden beds too. Look who just got home from school. Now I have a helper to help me spread out all of the mulch. You'll see also that I put down some bricks to kind of hold the cardboard in place, because after being out in the rain it kind of got twisty. So if you need to, put some rocks or something else to hold down your cardboard until you get your mulch down. How was school?
Good.
Sebastian helped me spread out all of the mulch in this area, and we even had enough left over to spread it out underneath his swings. He really wore down the mulch under there, didn't you?
Yes.
He likes to swing. All right, next we're going to be putting down some pavers because we'd like to keep this area a walkway still. It looks like we are just 2 pavers short of finishing the path. I thought we needed a couple more, and I thought we had some in the back, but the ones we have in the back are round. So I would like them all to be square so that they all match up here. Plus the color really matches good with the bricks. So the next part is the really fun part. I'm going to lay out my flowers and my plants and see where I want to put them. Now I'm going to give you a close-up of how I laid out the plants. You'll see that I moved some of them around, and that's what's great about doing this in the pots, is because you can lay it out first and then move them around as you like. So here are the new plants I'm going to be planting here. This is all for the raspberries. And then I'm going to plant these 2 back here. And all of this area right here, I'm going to save space because I really want the comfrey to spread in this area. So I think 2 plants are probably enough for back here. Well, that's it for today's video. I am not going to show you today how I'm planting these because our water is not on yet out here, and I really do need to water down this cardboard to get it to kind of flatten out a little bit, and it also make it easier for us to cut through, because that's what we need to do to be able to plant these plants. But the water will be on soon, and as soon as it is, I will be making a whole nother video to show you exactly how I get all of these wonderful new flowers and plants off to a good start. So thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. We have over 100 videos that you guys could watch and gain a lot of knowledge from. And so check those out. I've even made a whole bunch of playlists for you. Happy gardening, everyone.